Hello book lovers, it's Adelie Blunt here again, and today we're going to talk about fiction for our older readers from Usborne Books and More. And I'm going to start with the Billy B. Brown series. There's 15 books in this series. They're $4.99 a piece for the paperback. And Billy B. Brown is friends with a boy named Jack. And so throughout this story you will hear about Billy B. Brown and Jack learning from life's lessons. And the great thing about these is they're for ages 4 to 7, and so they're great for beginning readers, and they're also great for struggling readers. You'll notice that there's no sentences that carry over to the next page, and there's 50 words or less on each page, which helps with making sure that our readers aren't too overwhelmed with the content in the book. So this is Billy B. Brown, and there's also a Hey Jack series that is Jack from the Billy B. Brown books, and Billy B. Brown is also in the Hey Jack books. So they're great for if you need a few extra books to encourage your reader to read. Hey Jack also has 15 books, and you can purchase them individually or as a set as well. Another one that we have is our Pup Patrol books. This is Stamp, and Stamp is a dog that is very good to his owner as well as to his friends, and he works really hard to do the right thing and to help his friends out. And I like this book because at the end of each chapter, Stamp has a Stamp's glossary so that you can learn some of the words that are in the chapter. And some of the words, this book is actually written in Australia, so some of the words are words that are used in Australia and not in America, so it's really handy to have that glossary at the end. This is for 7 to 11, and they're $4.99 a piece. There's 4 books in this series, so these would make a great stocking stuffer if you need something for your younger reader there. One of my favorite additions that we've had recently is to our graphic novel selection. We now have The Adventures of Robin Hood, The Adventures of King Arthur, and Dracula. So if you have someone in your life that likes the graphic novels, whether it's a child or maybe your husband or uncle, brother, something like that, these are great options because not only are they graphic novels, but they are the classics. So they will get to read in the graphic novel format, but they will also get the content of those classics. These are $9.99 a piece and great for those readers who like the graphic novels. We also have Scurvy Dogs, which is written in a graphic novel format. These dogs are looking for some dog treasure, and so they pretend to be pirates and go looking for their dog treasure. So if you have a little bit younger reader, maybe not quite ready for some of those classics, this would be a good option for that graphic novel content. These are $5.99 a piece for ages 7 to 10. Along with those classics that we had there, we also have Frankenstein and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. These are not graphic novels, but they do tell the story very well, and you can see that they include some nice artwork there. And it is a very short form of the story, so it's for ages 7 and up. But again, they are classics, so it's good to get those into our readers' hands. They are $4.99 a piece, so again, they would make great stocking stuffers or gifts for Christmas. These books are not in a graphic novel way necessarily, although there are some parts of that throughout the book. This is the Wheelnut Series. It is definitely for your reader who likes Captain Underpants or some of those silly stories that are a little bit too goofy for some, parents. But it's about a series of silly cars that go on some crazy races under the water, in space, and through the desert. So there's lots of different silly places where they go. And you can see the bright colors. There are some elements of graphic novels, but it is not that way throughout the whole book. But it does add that fun element to reading the story. So there are 5 of these books in the series. They're $6.99 a piece, or you can purchase them as a whole set in the series. Another series we have is called the Mythical 9th Division. This is for our older readers, for 7 to 11. It's about some mythical creatures who save the world, and so it's about how they go about doing that. Again, not in a graphic novel format, but there are some elements to it, And so there's little bits and pieces of that to the story there. But a nice story if you have a reader who appreciates some of the mythical creatures or some of the fictional parts that they might see in a book like this. One of our favorites is the Gateway series. There are now 8 of these books. However, you can purchase them in a set of the first 7 if you are wanting to purchase those, and then you'd have to purchase the 8th one separate. They are $5.99 a piece, and it is about a hotel that also is a gateway through space. So many aliens come, and when they come, they stay at this hotel. And the main character, Amelia, and her family have moved into the hotel to run it and work with the government agencies to make sure that the aliens don't get out and people don't know about them and all that kind of stuff. So each book is about how an alien from another place wants to come and steal something or rule the world or whatever it is that it might be about. But they really are a great story, and if you have someone who enjoys Star Wars or any kind of sci-fi books, this would be a great series for them. This one is for an older reader, and it's probably more for a girl. This is for ages 10 to 14, and it's called Choose Your Own Ever After. And I remember growing up the stories where you would read it, and then you get to a point and you could either go to this page and continue the story, or you could go to this page and it would continue the story in a different way. And that's what these are. And I believe there's 4 of them. They're $5.99 a piece, and they do just that. You read a little bit in the story, and then you get to a place where, see if I can find it. Oh, you get to a part where you can choose where you want to carry on the story. So these are geared a little bit more toward girls, but anyone who enjoys something like that might enjoy reading these books. Again, $5.99 a piece for those. Here we have some mystery novels. The main character in these novels are accused of stealing something and have to prove that they are innocent. We have the mystery of the Clockwork Sparrow, the mystery of the Jeweled Moth, and we also have the mystery of the Painted Dragon. So there's 3 books in this series, and they're each $6.99 a piece. The Mapmaker Chronicles, there are 3 of these right now, and it is a story about the main character and his team are trying to map out the world, and whoever gets that done first is going to win a very big prize. And so it's filled with ships and pirates, and it also has a little bit of that historical fiction nature to it. So if you have a reader who enjoys that historical fiction, this would be a good series to turn them on to. And the last one I wanted to tell you about was our illustrated books. We have many choices for our illustrated books, from mythological stories to the fairy tales, even Shakespeare and Dickens. There's options there. These are $19.99 a piece, but they are filled with amazing stories. They're filled with beautiful pictures, and they are really a keepsake book that when you give it to your child, it might be something that they keep forever, and then they might even want to hand down to their children. It has a little bookmark that's attached there. Really great books. $19.99 a piece for a very hardback, very sturdy, and very neat book that can be handed down from generation to generation and enjoyed all for forever. So anyway, those are some of the reading books for our older readers. There's more than that. So if you're looking for something in particular, please let me know, and I will be glad to help find you what it is that your reader would really enjoy. Thanks.